let's just sew whatever.
All right, we are working on the Arsia crossbody bag. This is from Kaur Threads. I am using a vinyl that I will be carrying on my website in a few weeks, months, I don't know. But I'm going to be using this for most of the bag. And then for the lining, I am using a printed waterproof canvas. So I have taped faux laminated my cut list, and I'm just going to move from top to bottom essentially. I really love the card slot panel, coin zip pocket lining. I think that's really cool. And I really love the way the cut list is laid out. They also have the hardware required down on the bottom, which for me is super helpful. I can just keep this in the bin to help keep me organized, so I know, okay, I've got my snap, I've got my rings, swivel clips, sliders, rivets. Super fun. I really like the way that she lays out her patterns, and I'm excited to make this one. So I'm just going to move along down the cut list, kind of organizing. Like I've got my zipper overlay, back top panel. There's some pieces that are just stabilizer, lining side panel, stabilizer, and gusset pieces. So for stabilizer, I am going to use Decaville Light on my exterior vinyl. It's going to give a nice structure, and then it's with out of the seam allowances so that I know my machine can handle it, and the bag is just going to sit so perfectly. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab some rulers really quick. I'm looking through and I see like some that are 11 inches wide. So I've got my 14 by 5, my 8 by 24, and then I'm going to grab my 8.5 ruler, I think. No, I'll probably be good with this bigger one. Yeah. I also love that the zippers to cut and prepare are given on that sheet, because again, oftentimes I'm just cutting all at once for batch sewing, and so it's really nice to just know that it's there. I'm going to start by cutting my crossbody strap from my vinyl. This is just a sample piece that I have, so this end is not very straight, so I'm going to cut it nice and straight. So it looks like it's a different kind of crossbody strap, and it's almost like a double-sided strap. You should really read over the pattern before you cut it. I'm just going to make mine all solid, so I'm cutting it to 3 inches wide. Okay. I really love that the cut size of the piece is given, so if you wanted to cut it out with a ruler first and then cut it to size, you could do that just for like extreme accuracy. So cute. So that is the front panel and then lining panel. So one exterior, one lining. I don't need another exterior, so I'm going to put this in my pile of lining pieces. Okay. Okay. Moving on to the gusset. Cutting 2 of these from the exterior. there are the 2 exterior gusset pieces. Put those in my lining pile, and then there's this zipper overlay that's on the front. Definitely want this piece. And again, the piece size is given, which I love that. And then you can cut it from there. Okay, so the inside measurement is 1.5 inches smaller. So I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch in. And 1/2 inch in, right? Yeah, 1/2 inch. Oh no. Is it not 1/2 inch? No, it's 1/2 inch. It just looks bigger than 1/2 inch. It just looks wrong to me. Like, it's, yeah, that's not right. I think on the bag it'll look okay since it's all a solid color. Just more of my zipper tape is going to show than I would like. So I would say do 3/4 from the top edges, just 3/4 all the way around, and then you'll have a smaller sized opening there. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I'm okay with it. Okay, so we have 1 front panel, 1 zipper overlay, 1 back pocket panel, and then the top panel is a square piece. This is the back pocket panel. Gusset piece, cut, and then we've got strap connectors. The zip end tab, I am going to just use hardware instead. And then we've got our slip pocket trim. Which we want to be super careful to make sure it's one continuous cut for that piece. And then I'm going to measure the center so that it's ready for later. Okay. Every time. There it is. Okay. So that is it for our exterior pieces, and now we can move on to either the lining fabric or the stabilizer. I may move on to stabilizer since my heat press is on, and I don't need stabilizer for my lining pieces. All right, and since my heat press is on, I'm going to go ahead and fuse these to the pattern piece. Centered on all sides. Okay, and that's all that I need of this one, so I can go ahead and just clip that to the piece of paper. Okay. There is a little stabilizer piece for our strap connector. I will go ahead and apply it. Just, why not? And what's nice about Decaville Light is that it adheres so quickly. Alright, for these front stabilizer pieces, I am going to trace these on the Decaville Light and then cut. Then I know where my center is, and essentially this is like our seam guide. And I only need one of these, so again, I can go ahead and clip that. Okay, and this is going to go on the larger front panel, centered around all sides. Woo! That was scary. And technically Decaville Light really only needs about 10 seconds. And then let it cool as flat as you can. Strap connector, stabilizer, back, front stabilizer. I purchased my Decaville Light from cereal bag makers, but you can also get it from Wawak, several other locations. Joann's carries it. You could also use SoFuse Plus in place of Decaville Light. It doesn't have quite the same amount of structure, but it still has a good amount of structure. And then I'm sure there are other stabilizers as well. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head to recommend. And then if you know that you are not great at cutting a straight line once it's traced, you can always line up your ruler to carry out the rest of that line. And then we will fuse that into place. Again, we just needed one of those stabilizer pieces, so we'll clip it into place. So far I'm really happy like with the size of this bag. I feel like it's a fairly quick to cut bag as well. 9 3/4. So this is the back top stabilizer piece. And now there are card slot stabilizer pieces and then a card slot woven interfacing. I'm probably going to go ahead and do the 4 pieces of Decaville Light. I could see that being nice. I don't know, actually, like with the waterproof canvas, it's already so bulky that I feel like if you're just using a regular cotton, those interfacings are probably very helpful. But I'm worried that with waterproof canvas, it's already going to be bulky and thick enough that having that interfacing isn't going to necessarily better the bag. It might just bulk up the lining more than it needs to be already. Okay, so like I said, now we're on the lining, and it's up to you if you want to start with your pattern pieces first or if you want to start with your measurement pieces, but it looks like there's only 3 lining pieces that aren't measurements, so we could just get those out of the way. Luckily this fabric really is not directional, so I'm not super worried about cutting this any particular way. It's really fun. This one is backed with a black waterproof coating, which is kind of nice. Okay, front panel lining. So I like to use clips to help hold the edge together, and then we can use our pattern weights for the other parts, and then we can try to find our rotary cutter. Here it is. Tell me I'm not alone, and like it was just in my hand, but now it's gone forever. So pretty. And if you need to, you could even clip similar pieces together. Okay, back piece D, it says 1 exterior, so I don't need my lining. Got my gusset. Lining side panel A and B. Okay, so this one is just a mirror image, so if you cut it on the fold, you will be fine. I am tempted to use the vinyl on this piece, kind of like the Catalina comes together, but it doesn't need it. Alright, so now we have a lot of pieces that are like 8 1/4, 8 1/2. So I might grab my big old ruler. I need to design like a middle-sized one. Alright, time to finish up our lining. I went ahead and grabbed one of my old Omnigrip rulers that's 9 1/2. My gosh. Alright, so is it 9 1/2? Yeah, it's 9 1/2. So that should get most of those larger pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and work on the front pocket lining using an 8 by 8 1/2 ruler. I'm kind of going down the list based on the size ruler I have in my hand so that I'm not wasting a ton of fabric as well. So like I've got a 7 by 6 piece, which isn't far off from what I was just cutting. So I figure we'll just keep it consistent. I really love this 8 by 8 1/2 ruler because it's really easy to see which side is which. Like here's my 1/2 inch. So if I need something that's 7 1/2 inches, what I end up doing is I measure from that 1 inch line. So I know that this is 7 1/2 and so on and so forth. So like 8 1/4 by 6, I'm able to line up my 8 1/4 and then go down to the 6. Nope, wrong one. And now I have a piece that's the similar width, but a different height. So I'll just go based off of that because my width is already cut. I cut how tall that piece needs to be. Just need one. And that is the end of pieces I can cut with this ruler. So now I can look at my cut list and see what is that same width but a different length. Okay, so this is my card slot panel. And then if you need to, you can label these. I can read ink pen off the back. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I can read it. So that's kind of cool. So this is the full width of the ruler. Alright, so we just have one more piece to cut and we're done cutting out this bag. And then of course you need to grab your hardware, cut your zipper tape, but I will be doing that in the sewing portion of the video. Well, sewing portion of this bag. Alright, so let's see. So here is my width. And now I will cut the height and then cut across. So I'm lining up the very bottom edge, making sure that this is the height. Yep. So I'm going to cut up and then over. And then that is the last pattern piece that I needed. Boop. And then you could even go through and just name these like A, E, H, L, M, N, O, P as they're instructed there. But other than that, thank you so much for hanging out with me while we cut the Arsia crossbody bag from Kaur Threads. I'm super excited to make this adorable sized bag. I've noticed that bags lately have been getting smaller and smaller, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, you don't need to carry everything with you. And I feel like small bags have been really popular lately. Just a little tip, I have been keeping my patterns together. Instead of like Ziploc bags, I'm using these like binder sheets. If the pattern pieces don't fit inside, I just clip them to the binder sheet. But it has helped significantly. And then if I wanted to at some point, I could organize them better. But so it kind of fitted in like that, and then I'll use a clip to make sure nothing falls out. Very handy for me. So I can't wait to make this, and I hope you'll join me. Bye.